Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of our course, which covers fundamental analysis. There's going to be a total of 3 videos within this part, within the part on fundamental analysis, and this video is specifically going to cover about the introduction of the importance of fundamental analysis, and also the sources of information that you can get all the relevant information that you need to perform fundamental analysis. Right, so let's begin. Why do we really need fundamental analysis? Right. Okay. Before that, let us understand the importance of fundamental analysis in the context of traditional stocks. Right. So for traditional investments such as stocks, fundamental analysis entails evaluating the financial health and the viability of a certain company or corporation according to its financial statements, right? A balance sheet, profit and loss statements, and all public information, right? If the numbers look good, we can be confident that the company has good fundamentals, and we can therefore invest in it. We feel safe investing in a fundamentally good company. And performing fundamental analysis for cryptocurrency, however, is radically different because there are no financial statements. Why? Because of 2 reasons. Firstly, cryptocurrencies are not corporations like a company or firm, right? But they are rather representations of value or assets within a network, right? So its viability, it's not based on generating profits or revenue, but it's rather directly dependent on the participation of the whole community in terms of the users using the services, in terms of miners securing the network, and in terms of of course the developers managing and managing the whole protocol and an enhancement towards the tech of the coin itself. So each currency is a manifestation of the different wide applications of blockchain technology, which is of course decentralized. Secondly, why there's no financial statements, purely because the crypto ecosystem is really in its infancy stages, and almost all of the currencies are in development stage, right? Theoretical. So they're just building it as we speak. So which means that there are limited use cases in the real world currently at the moment, and therefore a lack of track record, right? So therefore, the fundamental analysis on cryptos must be performed with a different methodology, given especially the complex nature of cryptos and the underlying technology, the blockchain. It is even more important for us to engage in research so that we can assess the viability of a particular coins which you may want to invest in, right? So that this ensures that we make better investment decisions and we are kept in the loop of things. We know what to look out for to assess whether a coin is good or bad for us to invest, right? But more importantly, a good understanding of a coin's fundamental allows you to form your own opinion and make your own stand, which is very rare in the crypto world, purely because it's so technical, it's very hard to understand, and people usually make buying decisions based on hype. You know, just hearing, okay, this coin is good, let's buy, it's going to earn 100% or 1000% returns, you know, without any fundamental research or overview of what it does, or the utility of the coin, or whether it's a good investment in the first place. So it's vital for you to engage in a proper fundamental analysis for you to actually reduce your risk. This is a very, very risky space, right? Why is it important for you to perform fundamental analysis for the coins? Let me summarize everything for you. There are over 900 cryptocurrencies. You add that with the complexity of the blockchain technology, you add that to their relative infancy, all that equates to a high level of risks, right? And to reduce that high level of risk and volatility, you really have to arm yourself with the knowledge, the right kind of knowledge, and that is through fundamental analysis. Right? So let us move on to the next section, which is focusing on the important sources of information where you get your news and knowledge from. Okay, there's actually three, right? But before that, you have to understand that in this space, the crypto land, knowledge really is power. Really, it is. In order for you to access a coin, you have to first know where to get the right sources of information. So, as I've outlined to you, there are three. The first one is the coin's white paper. Right, white paper is just like a proposal, a technical proposal under as in outlining how the coin is going to work and all other important details like coin supply, as in the purpose of the coin. There's a lot of sections, but you have to understand that there is no one single template for a white paper. For example, Bitcoin is only 9 pages long, right? But other white paper can be 20 pages long. Yeah? It depends on the coin itself and what it's trying to convey, right? So there's no one template for all, right? So, okay, moving on. The white paper is a detailed proposal by the development team, which outlines, as I said, the purpose and mechanics, right? This, okay, it's very important to understand this. The white paper represents the main source of evaluating the fundamentals of the coin. That is like the holy grail, if so to speak, right? You should always read the coin's white paper before you decide whether you want to invest or not, right? So, but the drawback is this, right? The disadvantage is that it can get very technical, given the usage of technological jargons and computing concepts that may be hard for those who do not have prior computing knowledge or skills in that. So it's basically very hard, quite challenging for the average Joe to understand, to grasp their head around what they're trying to say. But think of it as another way of thinking. Complexity is good, right? Because it's better to have a complex looking white paper than a white paper which is very easy to understand. And usually those white paper which are very easy to understand, they're usually clouded with marketing kind of language, which can be quite scammy, so to say. Why? Because a white paper is supposed to be technical because it outlines how the coin is going to work, right? And how the coin is going to work takes a lot of computing concepts for them to really underlie the coin with. So it is very important for them to get that technical basis right before saying that, okay, I'm going to engage in doing this project, and this project is quite complicated, hence the technical details, rather than a coin with a white paper which is like, oh, this coin is superb, it can do so much, please buy this coin implicitly. So most of the time I would say complexity is very good, right? Secondly, let's move on. The second source of information is the coin's Slack channel or blog. Okay, so Slack is basically a communication app. You can just Google or download in your phone, in your smartphone, an app. It's called Slack. It's a communication platform between between the developer and the public. So it's like an open platform where you can basically ask anything you want. If you need help in understanding, or you need help in downloading their protocol or anything, you can just talk direct, as in it's a public, think of it as a public WhatsApp group, right? So you can just message anyone, the developers, and also the community would also help in if you have any questions. So the purpose of the Slack channel is it is the main channel, usually is the main channel of communication between the core development team and the community. So you can actually view the interaction of the development team with the community, and a high participative core team it's usually good because they address the potential misconceptions or issues that you may have towards their coin after you read the white paper, or after you heard from someone else or any other sources. So it's a two-way channel, right, for you to understand more about the coin. And also you should follow the updates of the development team through, if they have, usually they have an official blog, so you can read about their, for example, their roadmaps, or what they're planning to do, or what their timelines, that serves as a means of communication as well. But it won't be one-sided. It's more like a publication, kind of like a newsletter, it's a one-way thing. But at least the updates, the general updates, and the vision and the objectives from the core development team from the Slack channel, from the blog, right? So we've gone through the white paper, and secondly is the Slack channel of the blog, right? Okay, thirdly, this might be quite what you call non-traditional, unorthodox, right? But I feel this is very, very, very important to get the latest news and the latest rumors. Okay, you might say, okay, why do I need rumors? Okay, the rumors move the market. So if you can get access to vital information, though it can be a rumor, you'll be the first to react. That gives you ample time before the whole market moves, right? So it gives you flexibility, right? So the third source of information, my personal favorite, is through community forums. I've listed three. There's a Reddit, Bitcoin Talk, and also STEEMIT, 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 right? Right. So these are basic community forums where people can discuss about the coins. Most coins should have an official channel within these community forums for participants to discuss about the coins and marketing kind of thing, right? So forms a great way to understand the coins better, as well as the sentiments surrounding the coin. Whether the participants are looking at the coin and say, okay, is it a good buy? Oh man, let's rush to him because the fundamentals are so good. Or no, I'm gonna stay away because it looks very scammy. So it's a good channel for you to solicit feedback from the participants and know what they think. Because let's face it, some people are good at explaining things. Some people are just purely trolls, right? But usually the community is very helpful for us to really understand the complexities of the coin. And it's really quite an intellectual bunch of community, though sometimes you can get a lot of trolls from these forums, right? But you can almost definitely find simple definitions on certain concepts, or easy to understand analysis of the coins that you are looking at, right, from the forums, because the community is quite well informed. The advantage is the diversity of thoughts, which allows you to grasp the mechanics of the coin far better, especially if you're not technically inclined, right? So if you're not familiar with, say, a technical jargon, a good tip is for you to search in the forum. Especially my personal favorite is Reddit, REDDIT. I recommend you to download the app and join all the channels within the Reddit community that focuses on the coins that you want or the general cryptocurrency, and I will give you a list later, right? So you can just search in the search inquiry in the forums about the terms. Okay, what does this mean? You know, explain to me like I'm 5 years old. So the shortcut to that explain to me like I'm 5 years old is called ELI5. So it's ELI 5. So once you, for example, if you don't understand blockchain, say blockchain ELI5, blockchain ELI5. So any concept that you don't understand and you add ELI5, and trust me, you can find most simple explanations from the bunch of community members, which breaks down with different analogies. So it's better because you can get a wider array of a diversity of thoughts. So it can really make your learning process much easier, because let's face it, if we learn from just directly from one source or one person, we may not get their certain viewpoints. But if you have 10 others, you can have like a general idea of, oh, you know what, I think that's how, I think I'm kind of getting the idea of it. Though it's not the technical details, but hey, the conceptual is more than enough. The overview is more than enough for you to understand the coin. Then that's even better, because it takes time for you to really fully grasp the technical details. And just starting, you have to just start slow, and that's more than enough, right? So to summarize, the 3 sources of information that you should always have access to before fundamentally analyzing the coins is, firstly, the white paper. That's the holy grail. You can get all the information about the coin. Secondly is the coin's Slack channel or blog, official blog. And lastly, it is from community forums, which includes Reddit, Bitcoin Talk, or STEEMIT, but I would strongly recommend Reddit, right? So that marks the end of our introductory video for fundamental analysis. On the next video, I'm gonna dive with you in a more in-depth level of the fundamental elements that you have to look for in performing your fundamental research. So hope to see you then. Take care.